Hey, Sean. How would you describe Tyler Nichols' game?
I'll just say lethal scorer. He can shoot the ball really well, obviously. And once you have a guy that can shoot the ball like that, you kind of force the
Recording in
defense to guard
progress.
you like throughout the whole way of the court. So,
How much has he developed since his time at Carolina?
well, obviously, I didn't really get to watch him that much other than the time that we played him here. But I'd say defensively, he's kind of like I'd say his body and his defensive like quickness has gotten a lot better.
How's it going, Sean?
Good.
How do you guys, improve from a consistency aspect? You guys had games last year where you looked really sharp, and then obviously, sometimes couldn't string it together back to back. How do you improve that going into this year?
Yeah, obviously, having a lineup that's consistently out there on the court is a big deal. But I think this year we've definitely honed in on the defensive end and becoming elite there. I think we all know we can score the ball and shoot the ball. But whenever those shots aren't falling, it's hard to win games consistently whenever the defense isn't really getting a lot of stops. So that's something we're trying to improve on now.
Sean, what's an area you think you worked on in your game this offseason?
Yeah, I'd say once you get to a certain point, like you just kind of fine tune those same skills. But I'd say off the court, like becoming a better leader and kind of showing the younger guys the ropes and showing what the coaches want. I'd say is the biggest thing I've kind of worked on.
Between you, MJ, Rodney, and their second seasons, and obviously Hunter as well, it seems like this group of guards can be ultra potent on offense. How tough do you think it's going to be for opponents in the ACC to guard all you guys?
Yeah, it'll definitely be tough. I think all of our guards bring different things to the table and different ways in which they can attack a defense. So as far as like scouting and teams around the league, they're definitely gonna have trouble kind of telling their guys how to guard each one of us just because we're all so different.
David, go ahead with your questions for Sean, please.
Sean, Mike has described this as the deepest team he's had at Tech. Might you be a more effective player playing fewer minutes? Because I think you averaged 36 a game last season.
Yeah, I've definitely had that conversation with the coaches, and that's something I think we both agreed upon is that there was almost a point last year where I was playing like too many minutes where I couldn't be as effective as I should be, and that's not an excuse, but I'm just saying that there is a point where you're playing less minutes, but you're playing more effectively, and you're able to put more out there on the court. So yeah, I definitely think so.
When you're playing too many minutes, when you reach that peak, is it more apparent to you when you critique yourself offensively or defensively?
I think offensively, whenever I was playing too many minutes, I kind of had to like take a step back almost and kind of pick possessions to try to score on or pick possessions to try to like exert so much energy. And then defensively, you can't really do that obviously. So I'd say offensively more so than defensively.
Thank you.
As a guy who's played, significant minutes since he was a freshman, how do you feel like you've grown and matured as a point guard?
Yeah, I just say reps and reps and seeing the same reps in practice. The game just has slowed down a lot, and I'm playing as confident as ever right now in practice. And I think that's just because I've seen everything that I'm looking at, and like basically the game is just slowing down. So once the game slows down, you're playing confident. You can really play your best self, I think.
When you lose guys like Justin and Grant and Darius to an extent, I mean, do you feel as if you guys have what it takes in that locker room to replace the production that they gave you last year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying anything negatively, obviously, about those guys that left. I love all those guys, but and they'll be missed. Like they all brought something to the table that's hard to replace. But the guys that came in also have that same self about them that it's hard to replace the things that they bring. But like Robbie Barron and Mackay, they bring a sense of like defense and rebounding and just physicality that we haven't had in a long time. And then like guys like Tyler Nickel and the freshmen that are coming in, they bring a sense of scoring that's very hard to say, oh well, that's not good enough because it is good enough. So yeah, I'd say it's hard to replace, but I think we're doing a good job doing that.